we're coming to the end of 2 years worth of good hard work, and we're coming up to kind of plan for the next 3 years. So it's quite an important meeting. So it's to look back at what we've done and help us think about what might be next for the next few years. So this is the little area of Whitley Bay. That North Tyneside Council worked really hard getting the big local money. It wasn't a kind of easy thing. So it's an odd shape, but kind of that's where the focus of the work is. So the 4 things that us as a board have thought about is the environment, people, well-being, and partnership and communication. They're the kind of 4 ways that we organise your work. So what we've done so far is built loads of networks. So some practical examples of that is the planters in the town centre. Other stuff we've done is we resurrected the Whitley Bay Carnival, and we've done something called Small Sparks. The idea of Small Sparks is getting some of that money closer to people in Whitley Bay rather than us talking about how I might spend it. So it's just, there's a bit of money to make something happen. Had the shop in opposite Cooking Co's. So we've had loads of people through the door, had loads of people doing a completely random selection of things, and those things have been led by local people as well. So the first part of the session is just to look back a bit on what we've done, right? Because you might not know.
Okay, well, would you like us to quickly run through this? Yeah. We've got a website and a Facebook page that anybody obviously can access. So we've employed 2 local women, commissioned them as a small project, and they deal with all of our comms at the moment. So the shop is outside of the big local area, which is an issue. It just fell into our laps. It happened to be empty, and we got a very good deal on it, basically. And we've also employed the 2 part-time workers. There's another branch of the lottery called Unlimited, which is another funding stream. Under the Dome that we went to, so we were having a chat earlier, they bid into it and got some money for it. So Whitley Bay has been more successful, folk of Whitley Bay have been more successful than any other town in the North East at getting money from Unlimited. We've set up a regular meeting with our council and police and fire and local councillors. We want to work together, and it feels fair enough to say that over the last year and a bit that we meet every month. I think we've built up a real better understanding of how we can work together better.
That's one of the big strengths of Big Local, is it's bringing together people to actually sort of to focus on particular issues, and that often in the past there's been a huge amount of energy and activity going on, but often by individuals.
It takes time. I think we've built up a level of confidence between ourselves, so it's a bit like anybody. If you trust somebody, you're more likely to work with them than if you don't.
And because there were it's got to happen this particular way, actually that reduced a level of bureaucracy, but you then suddenly need various things in place.
And we're quite light touch. I mean, I think hopefully the whole focus has been we've got to try and make things happen. Do you feel as if you've made new contacts, new friends?
Yes.
Would you even go friends? You've made new friends?
Yes. We get involved with various things. I know Jean dances.
Dancers, we have sequence dancing. Yeah. Mine we had to fight to get it.
Yeah. The idea was to have young people working with recently retired people to then go in and go into old people's homes and get the story of Whitley Bay as told by the people in the care homes. There were training avenues for the people who took part through the Care Academy at Age UK so that they could go on and train to become carers. It's looking at what we've done in the first couple of years, and as Tim says, it's very much foundations and just sort of seeing where we are. 10 years is a long time. In year 9, the Whitley Bay pupils all have a week in the summer where they go off and they do what's called inquiry-based learning. And this year, Whitley Bay, Big Local, along with Unlimited, supported and put some funding in. As part of this funding, trained up 6 or 7 arts advisors so that we can go into schools or other organisations and work with young people to get arts awards. We don't want the high flyers, we want the kids who actually are going to really benefit from doing an arts award, not the academic kids, the kids who this is going to make a real difference to. Small Sparks, this is giving people a chance to use some of the £1 million, and it's really simple to apply for. It's just a couple of pages. What do you want to do? And how will you deliver that, and the only criteria is, will it make Whitley Bay a better place? Sheila over there has got some money and she's setting up a sing-along group, not a choir. She's not confident enough to be part of a choir, but she just loves to sing. Mike got small sparks to start Incredible Edibles, didn't you?
Yeah.
We've had someone who did an event on the beach making sand dragons and storytelling. Victoria Avenue got their lights for the art houses. So it can be anything. People talked about, there used to be a carnival in Whitley Bay and it used to be great, why can't we do that anymore? 400 people in the parade, thousands came to the actual event, it was a full day. It was amazing. A samba drumming band as well, that was started off a couple of years ago.
My name's Suzanne, and for my sins at the moment I'm the chair of the wellbeing thing. We've got a number of young people living out of the B&Bs. They can be quite isolated, feel quite divorced from the local community, but however long they are here, we wanted them to feel included and part of that community.
In my view, soon we're going to have some refugees coming to live here as well, and it would be good if we could look at how we do that, and it doesn't matter what that need is, whether it's somebody who has lost their home because of divorce or something like that, or because they've been in prison, or because it's a young person who's fallen out with their parents, or refugees. We ought to have some way of looking at how we as a community respond to them.
Did that feel like a useful exercise? That's kind of a flavour of what Big Local, we as a group of people in Whitley Bay, everybody included, has been up to over the past 2 years. Things often take longer than you think they will. Isn't that true of most things? We'll have to use the money responsibly, I suppose. That little bit of the responsibility sits quite heavily on the board. If you've got £1 million over 10 years, what is a really sensible thing to do is to divide that million by 10 and you get £100,000 a year. It doesn't have to be like that, right? What we've done is have £100,000 a year, split it equally between a few themes and kind of spend it that way, which has made a bit of sense to start with. So what we want is a bit of help thinking about some ideas around that. So if you were going to do something big, I'm not saying with £1 million because I haven't got $1 million left, but if there was something big that you thought would really make a difference, what would you do? From your experience of Whitley Bay Big Local, what's working and what's not working? And you can be as vicious as you want with that.
That's something that's just making us feel where we've got Bernardo's with a fantastic refurbished base, quality base, and it's
There's loads of information on those sheets, which is fantastic. So, time is running away from us as ever. Hope that has felt like a good use of your time. Looking at the information that we've gathered, it's been a really good use of our time. I think there's some really good stuff come out of that. Well, the next time we'll get together as a big group will be in December or January, where we'll show you a kind of draft of what we've got. Thank you very much indeed for your time, and I hope you still get involved in whatever capacity you can with Big Local, because it's about everybody, not just the board. Yay! Thank you very much.